What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Galactic Explorers Podcast. I am your host, Lunchbox, and today we are joined... Well, we've got a twosome.
Oh my.
A twosome? That just sounds like a weird name to call it a normal thing.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a regular struggle snuggle.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. If you haven't noticed by this beautiful man's voice, I am today joined by Mr. Craigie.
What up?
How you doing, sir?
I'm okay. Yeah, doing all right.
Life. So we are now. I think it's almost been a whole month since the game's come out.
Brr.
I know. How time flies.
I know, right?
So yeah, it's been a month. We've had like 3 and a bit weeks to play the game. I think a lot of people have given it a thumbs up or a massive thumbs down.
Yeah, it's been very polarizing.
Yeah,
on the review front.
It is the almighty of all Marmite games. You either love it or you hate it, I think. I don't think there's that middle ground really, is there? I mean,
yeah, it's a very Marmite game.
Yeah. But, you know, it's mainly because people feel lied to, or that's their excuse anyway, or, you know, things like that. So,
yeah,
that is kind of like the focus of today's episode, really, is like, what would we want in the game to make it better, or what do we feel they should add to make the game better in a way? Not just for like the whole game. What would you personally like to see as well?
Space Quidditch.
Space Quidditch. I completely forgot about Space Quidditch.
How could you forget Space Quidditch, man?
It's because no one else has brought it up since. But
well,
yes, Space Quidditch. Didn't I? What do you call it? Copyright that shit.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure I did.
No.
I'm pretty sure I put on the end of the episode that I've copyrighted it.
No, you're lying, man.
Space Quidditch would be so good. Or some amalgamation of that, anyway. But yeah, like they've had a lot of updates. I think 1.08 came out yesterday for the PS4, maybe for the same time for the PC version as well.
I will need to update that then.
Yes. I've seen people complain that there's some more bugs in it for some reason since this update.
Right.
Well, I haven't noticed it because I haven't played... Oh, I did. I live streamed it last night. So, yeah. But I didn't personally come across any bugs. But we've had a lot of updates. I mean, what was the first one? Was the first one 1.4?
Yes.
Or 1.3 or something like that?
Something like that.
So we've had like 4 or 5 updates in as many weeks.
Oh, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I think, like I said the last time I was on this podcast, I've been really lucky, and I haven't had any bugs or crashes or anything.
Yeah, it's been very hit and miss for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, and like I've been streaming and I've not had any problems.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can count on one hand how many times the game has crashed completely and sent me back to the PlayStation home screen. I think that's 4 or 5.
No, I haven't even had that.
But the only bugs I've come across is 2, and one of them is the one where you get in your ship and then it sends you straight off into space.
No, I've not had that.
Off. No, that's always a fun one.
The only bugs I've had have been these little annoying 6-legged ones that have been trying to eat me.
Yeah, the little crabs.
Yeah, the little crab things. Oh, they're horrible.
I know.
Because they're really small, so they're really hard to aim at.
And they're really quick as well.
Yeah. Like, they only do a tiny bit of damage, but...
And you don't, like, aim either. You can't, like, aim on your gun like most first-person shooters where you press, like, the left trigger down.
That's what I want to add. That's one of the features I would love to have in the game. Some kind of, at least, iron sights.
Yeah.
It would just make it...
I mean, they've got, like, a scope on the gun. On most of the guns, they've got, like, some kind of digital scope, so... Yeah.
It's
Go on, sorry.
it's one of those things where it's like any game that I think that has shooting. I mean, I know it's not a shooting game. I know it's not a combat-focused game.
Yeah.
But any game that has shooting as a primary mechanic, which, let's be honest, it does.
Yeah, even the whole mining thing is a gun, really.
Yeah. I think you need at least some kind of iron sights.
Yeah. In some way or another, yeah. And what was the other one? Oh, yes, when I'm flying along, sometimes when I'm flying, my ship just goes really, really slow over certain areas.
Oh, is that because it's like rendering in? It's like the frame rate drop or something?
I don't know, it might be, but it's only recently started doing it. It's not been a constant thing since release. So it might be from a previous update, and it's just obviously bugged out certain things at times.
For me, I think the only thing I've noticed is when you're coming in through the atmosphere,
yeah,
and you're getting close to the ground, and it just immediately renders, and it goes from like this sort of pixelated, distancy planet surface to oh crap, there are hills.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple of times. I mean, I've fallen through the graphics once. But I saved myself though, because I instantly did it. I was like, "Oh crap! Booster, quick! Jetpack!" Ah.
See, like I said, I've had none of this. Like I think secretly I've just been given the only perfect copy of this game.
Probably you have the only finished version of No Man's Sky.
I've got the true No Man's Sky.
They felt sorry for you because obviously the original release was on your birthday.
This is it. They saw they found my pre-order through Amazon, and the grace of Sean looked down and said, "This guy appreciates a good beard and good video games. I can respect that. We'll give him the finished copy, and everyone else can jog on."
And also the fact that you're actually going to work to get your game as well.
I know. So thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. You didn't lie to me.
Oh, this video's going to get so much hate right now.
Worth it.
But, yeah, so my experiences of the bugs anyway have been very few and far between. So even though it might sound like I've had a few experiences, that's been spread out over 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's been maybe like one. I mean, the crashes, I think 3 of those 5 or 4 crashes came in the first week, like when the game first came out. So since then, I thought it's only been the one time that it's happened.
Going back to what we started talking about what we want to see in the game.
Yeah.
I think there are 2 things that I've thought of that I would really like, and they're only really.
Are these features, or are these going to be like physical things in the game?
They're features. They're cosmetic changes, really.
Right. Yeah.
I'd like, when you're in your ship, you may have noticed that no matter how hard you try, you can only get a certain distance close to the ground.
Yeah.
I'd like to get closer to the ground.
Yeah, there is a mod for the PC version as well.
Yeah, well, we're not all luxurious PC gamers.
I mean, though, but obviously it is possible, isn't it? Someone's, some modders managed to do it.
Yeah. So I'd like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
I know I don't know if it's on purpose, but in that mod as well, you can actually go under the water in your ship.
That would be fun. Yeah, so kind of like a submersible.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know, I think that might be a bit too far. Although saying that, it is rather hard to get to some of the question mark things.
For the moment, I've just ignored most of the underwater things.
Yeah. But no, I do agree, I definitely agree with that feature.
And again, this sounds really simple and mundane, and why didn't they think of this in the first place? On a similar vein as having the iron sights.
Yeah.
I'd like the option of clicking to third person.
Yeah, I think that was an intentional design thing, so you don't. I think it has something to do with this possible multiplayer thing that keeps popping around.
Right. Okay.
Like the fact that they want you to not know what you look like until you meet someone else and see what they look like.
I see. But then, obviously, we're having all of this stuff
whether you can actually see someone else in game.
Yeah, because of the mix-up on the servers.
Yeah.
It's a global instance, but you are still in your own little instance bubbles.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
But I'm sure... I think that's what might be these whole, like, issues and the supposed pushbacks and things of the game. People, I think Sony was pressuring Hello Games. The public was pressuring them as well to get the game out. And obviously we don't personally have a say on when the game comes out. But obviously they're gamers as well themselves. And it's their first big game as a company. I mean, they obviously did Joe Danger, and they've obviously come from other places. I mean, Sean worked on Burnout, one of his previous jobs and things like that. And obviously Burnout at the time was a fairly big game.
True.
So obviously they've all had some kind of experience working in the games, like at big companies on big games. But obviously, as having to take control of it all themselves for the first time of a big game, and having that much hype, because hardly anyone ever hypes over a mobile game.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're not. You never really have that experience. You only tend to get the hype like when the game is actually out on mobile. So like the whole Pokemon Go thing, and things like that.
Oh, don't even get me started on Pokemon Go.
Yeah, but I mean, like beforehand though, before the game is released, you don't really get the hype, do you?
Yeah, my phone exploded, right? Not as a result of Pokemon Go, but because it's exploded, I can no longer play Pokemon Go. So like, currently, because my car is broken, I'm walking to work.
Right.
And my walk to work is about 4.5 kilometers.
Okay, so you got a nice little stretch going.
I could have hatched so many eggs.
Oh.
But no, my phone's got to be a dick. Sorry, I've just said dick. You can't monetize this video on YouTube now.
I don't give a crap if it doesn't. I mean, let's be fair. I've got 168 subscribers as of today. I'm not going to get that much money from this. But
penis wang schlong.
Yes, exactly. But at the end of the day, it's not the money what counts. It's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And getting the community's opinions on the whole matter. So make sure you do comment, obviously, what you guys want to see in the game.
Do you know, I was having this exact same conversation earlier in the office. So I work with a guy who also does YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Check him out, Adam Cooper YouTube. Yeah, I'll poke him tomorrow in the office and say, hey dude, I gave you a shout out on podcast last night. But yeah, we were having this conversation earlier. It was like, we're not here for the money or anything. No. We're here because we enjoy what we do, and I've got my own little crowd of regulars that pop onto my Twitch and chat with me.
Yeah.
And I love them, and that's why I do it, Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why I monetized mine, I know this is going completely off topic, guys, but the only reason why I did it is because it allowed me to do certain editing on my channel, doing the layouts and things. So I was able to do more things like that. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, it is all about you. We are a conversational podcast, and obviously we rely on what other people say as well to bring into the podcast. But I think going back to the topic at hand, the whole features thing. I think if it's going to add anything physical, for starters, I think the planets need some rework from afar. So if you're heading towards a planet, a lot of the times you look at it and you think, "Oh, this is going to be a planet full of islands," because it looks like there's loads of islands on the planet.
Yeah, and there's lots of water and stuff.
Yeah, and then you get onto there, and it's not. Or it looks, like I said, it looks blue, and then you get on there, and it ends up turning into like green instead. And you think it's one thing, and then you get there, it's another thing. So I'd like to see a little bit more, maybe, definition from afar. I mean, obviously I know the whole rendering distance and things. So yeah, I like to see that improved. I think another thing is the variety of ships as well.
Yeah,
I'm getting a lot of the same. You tend to get like 4 or 5 of the same body, and then you get like the peripherals, like the wings or the boosters on the side, which are different. But the bodies, there's not a vast amount of difference in the bodies of the ship. So I'd like to see some more variations, or at least some more new ones added.
See, I'd like some customization.
Yeah, I was about to. That was literally my next thing I was going to say. Like paint jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy like if they don't add like I said the extra bodies, but if I could just paint my ships, I'd be over the moon with that. Because I got one now.
I'd be really
it's like
happy
one of
with
the it's like one of the Battlestar Galactica ships.
Yeah.
But it's like this horrible muddy green colour, and it's like it's a nice looking ship, but if I could just paint it a different colour.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so definitely ship customization. I mean, it gives another reason to spend your money, because at the minute the only things that I spend my money on, I know that anyway, is maybe a ship or
a few resources here and there if you're short for crafting.
And you know, it's not hard to make money in this game. It seems almost a waste to constantly mine, not to be able to spend your money.
Yeah.
So it would be a nice feature to add that kind of things.
Yeah, I agree.
Or like protection. So if you're concentrating on mining, you could hire NPC ships to guard you. Like sometimes you see the trade ships flying around, or when you're on a planet and you see like 3 ships flying through the air, and one looks like a trader, and the other 2 look like fire ships guarding the trader. That might be a cool thing. So obviously when you're flying through and pirates attack you, you're not concentrating on the pirates. The help is the hired help. But yeah, I think there's like little changes here and there, which I'm sure they'll like end up adding in the process of the rest of the development of the game. But it's just, I think I've gotten over the original spectacle of the game now, and my game time, although my game time is probably increasing because I'm live streaming it more, I think my personal playthrough game time is reducing now, because I have got over that spectacle.
Well, I've basically set myself the I haven't been playing it personally.
Yeah.
I've only been playing it on stream. Like I've done bits here and there, like when I first got it, but because I want to keep that spectacle, I've only been playing it when I've been streaming.
Yeah, I get that. Especially for like reaction purposes as well. So like, you know, people when you're seeing it for the first, when the audience is seeing it for the first time, so are you as well. So you can both kind of
exactly. You've got that sense of and you experience it together. Like, you know, like I said, I've only got a small group of regulars, but to be able to share that experience with them,
especially when you're close.
Yeah, and you know, especially because not all of them have the game themselves, so they're experiencing the game vicariously through me. Hey, there's a big word for you.
Vicariously. No, but I totally agree with that. Like, I think, because I was originally going to do a YouTube series on the game, and now I know I'm moving my Twitch streams over to my YouTube channel, but I was going to do a separate playthrough of the game. But I think for starters, it's too time consuming, and that's what I find with this game. It's very time consuming, this game, if you're going to play it as a YouTube series. I've noticed. Yeah,
it's definitely more of a streaming game than a recording game.
Yeah, but then again, is it too boring to watch as a streaming game? Because I think that a lot of the case is obviously mining, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it entirely depends on who's presenting it.
Yeah,
like, because I've been watching some streams of it.
Yeah.
And some Let's Plays.
Yeah.
some of the streamers that I've sort of dipped in and out of, I can't even remember their names. They were that boring.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even say anything.
Yeah, and that, especially with this game, because there is a lot of, not boring things, but obviously not a lot of action.
Yeah, but this is just it. Like, and you can tell that they've got a microphone on because you can like hear them breathe in and like, cough. And you're like, if you're not going to say anything, don't have your microphone on.
No. Yeah, I totally agree with you there, because it's kind of off-putting, especially because you usually reduce the audio sound coming from the game anyway when you're live streaming, because obviously you want people to be able to hear you.
Exactly, yeah.
And obviously if you're reducing that, and then obviously you're not talking anyway, your breathing is coming across a lot more on the stream.
Yeah. But then equally, there have been some people that I've watched their Let's Plays and streams, and it's been really entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, am I okay to name drop?
Yeah. Name drop ahead.
Well, on stream, on Twitch, there's a guy that I follow called Man vs. Game.
Right, yeah.
He's a fairly popular Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of Dark Souls stuff, which is how I started following him.
Yeah.
But he's been Twitch streaming No Man's Sky, and he's kind of like me. He's really conversational. He engages with his crowd.
Yeah.
And you know, he's really engaging as a streamer.
Yeah.
Which works because although the conversation he has isn't necessarily on the game,
you're still engaging them.
Exactly. You're still involved.
Yeah.
And like one of the Let's Players that I've been watching for this one is Mr. Fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, he's done some really exciting, like genuinely, when he's playing the game, you can tell that he's got that sort of awe and excitement and just sense of wonder when he's discovering stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think it really captivates the sense of what the game should be.
Yeah.
You know, I think the main gripe that people have had and the main complaints that I've seen, forget all of the Sean lied.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that. That's
each to their own, isn't it? Like some people think it, some people don't.
Yeah, that's primary school playground bull is what that is.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of the gripes with this game have come from the fact that people we were promised an open-ended universe sandbox.
Yep.
People, somehow, I don't know how, have misinterpreted that to think linear story game.
Yeah.
And they haven't got their linear story game in space, so they've cried and wept and complained because where I want my story. Go out and make your story. That's what this game is for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, like you said, to make your own story, it's got to be a stream rather than a YouTube series. I mean, obviously, I think with this game, there's a lot more boring moments than there are exciting moments, and that comes across maybe more in streams. Obviously, in YouTube, you can edit the video, and obviously combine the more exciting moments together. But like you say, on stream, you integrate the audience into your gameplay, don't you? With you,
yeah.
And I think a lot of people are expecting a lot more ooh-ah moments compared to a lot more dull, boring moments, and I think that's where a lot of people have felt a little bit let down by the game, that they haven't found that ooh-ah moment yet.
Yeah, I think. See, I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it, to see what's wrong with the game,
when you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I did go on a bit of a rant back there, but you know, I'll stand by it. You know,
definitely.
You know, I mean, you know me. I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
I adore the depth of a good story.
Yeah.
And that's what this game is giving me. You know, I'm going out there. I'm exploring the wild frontiers of space. I'm discovering new animals.
You're fleshing out your character.
I'm James T. Kirk. I'm boldly going where no man or woman or everything in between. We're a gender-neutral podcast here.
No Vulcan.
or Vulcan or Tribble.
Yep.
Bring on your Tribble. Oh, that's another thing I want in the game. I want Tribbles.
We'll call it a Photoshop one in for you.
But yeah, I'm Starfleet. I am boldly going where no man has gone before. I'm the crew of the Firefly.
Yeah.
I'm on the Serenity.
I was waiting for that to come up.
Like I'm on my Serenity class ship, and I'm just jetting through space and running from this law Sentinels.
Yeah.
And I'm trading. I'm making my own way on this wild galactic frontier.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And yes, I think there are a lot of improvements that can be made, and there are a lot of things that can be added to make the game better.
Yeah.
But ultimately, this is the game that I expected. This is the game that I wanted. I'm happy.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel the same way. Like I said a few episodes ago, to me this is definitely a concept game where they're not going to get everything right. They will probably never get everything right in this game. But as a concept for future games, either by Hello Games or anyone else, the whole technology behind this, the way they've approached it, games can only get better in this kind of genre or using this kind of technology, because they'll know from the Hello Games experience of maybe we shouldn't have shown this game off as much, or maybe we should have shown it a little bit more so people know what the kind of game they're getting.
Yeah.
And obviously how to apply procedural generation into other types of games for the future. So I still definitely see this game as a concept, because nothing to this scale has been made before.
Yeah.
Yes, you had games in the past, like obviously the older Elites and obviously the more current Elite as well, but they're still not to the same size, because like the original Elite, well, sorry, not the original, this Elite is only the size of our galaxy. So it's only one galaxy large. Obviously this one's several galaxies.
Yeah.
And obviously you got the whole walking on planets and exploring animals and things like that. Whereas obviously Elites are more of a simulation game. But it is, to me, it's definitely a concept game, and yeah, that's how I personally see this game. It will obviously add features in the future. Will it ever be finished like 100%? Everything that everyone wants in the game? Probably not. But as far as a concept game goes, it's got the thumbs up from me, and obviously yourself.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've been on a bit of a rant this evening. I'm sorry.
Well, when there's two of us, we need a good rant.
Yeah. That's to get it out of your system.
Exactly.
Fill your beats.
Exactly. So yes, guys. Obviously, that's what we think, and I think there was a lot more just ranting there rather than features added to the game. But what do you guys think? What would you like to see implemented into the game? Either physical features, little things like the iron sights, like Craig has suggested, things like that. What would you like to see being put into the game in future updates and whatnot? And yes, thank you for joining me, Craig.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure to be here.
It's always a pleasure to have you here, sir. And yes, from both of us to you, we will see you next time, guys.